And here, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, binary, all colours of the rainbow. LGBT.
Yesterday, I came face to face with the very farmer who gave me a massive wedgie at the Royal Show last year, and I didn't even know it.
What do you mean by that?
Last year, I went inside the cattle judging ring at the Royal Show, and a farmer grabbed me from the back of my shirt and the back of my shorts, literally lifting me up and giving me a massive wedgie before throwing me around and pinning me up against the fence.
Let me give some context as to what happened. She went protesting on someone's property during an event. She literally jumped into the main circle in the middle and started rambling all this stuff. She wonders why she got thrown out. I don't care what you do. If you go on to someone else's property, that's what's going to happen. I'm surprised this woman is still doing this stuff. How is she not in jail yet? Big respect to the farmer there.
There are lunatics trying to make weights woke. You heard that correctly. Alyssa Royce, the owner of Rocket Community Fitness, a CrossFit gym in, you guessed it, Seattle, is now urging CrossFit box owners to stop designating barbells as men and women's bars. 45 pounds equals a men's bar and 35 pounds a woman's bar, but apparently she says this is silly because barbells don't have genders, they have weights.
Okay. Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
It's always when they are on the brink of deeper thought that they run away from the conversation like they want to stay blind. If you are not blind, you no longer belong to the club.
Stop it. Get some help.
A lot of trans friends, if they were dead named, it would be shattering to them. I think it's very wrong.
A few moments later.
Well, why do names matter so much? It's not as deep as you think it is. It's just a title.
If they were dead named, it would be shattering to them. I think it's very wrong.
Well, why do names matter so much?
99% of trans people, and it says, at the end of the film, there's no long-term studies of transition regret, but from what we do have, 99% of trans people do not go on to regret their transition, right?
Do you know who that study was done by?
You know when someone says that, you are about to get schooled, you can tell Miss Woke just got a little nervous.
I don't remember, and
So his name is Dr. Jack Turbin, and he's actually funded by AbbVie. AbbVie is a pharmaceutical company that gives money or does create cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers. Jack Turbin is essentially paid by people who benefit from you being on cross-sex hormones. And so he's the one that's put that study out, and he's the one that's given you that statistic. So it's not to say that I'm not negating who you are, or who you believe you are, but that's not a true statistic.
What a load of crap!
I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just, I'm like 3.5 hours into my shift. There's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day. Only 5 people were put on the schedule, and somebody had to call out. And there are 4 people running the whole store, and there's so many customers, and there's possibly scheduled 5 people. We only have 13 people employed at this store, and there's so many customers. And then people are yelling at me because they don't have their orders ready, and they don't know what to do. And a customer was misgendering me today, really badly. I didn't have their order ready, and so they were just talking to each other, and they're like, "She's clearly incompetent." I have a full mustache and beard. What the fuck?
Stop it. Get some help.
Straight people are getting too comfortable. I said what I said. Some things are not yours to talk about, joke about, or say. And you should go back to being deathly afraid of offending people.
You f***ing donkey!
Imagine going into a lifetime of debt, to show up to class and do whatever this is. Not going to lie though, I would definitely hit that.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
So I just got done playing tennis in my small little Tennessee conservative town. It was a mixed doubles group, and you can see I'm dressed pretty, I don't know, mask, androgynous, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not exactly going around announcing to people in this group that I'm non-binary, so most of them probably don't know.
Oh shit, here we go again.
But while I was there was a man there that made a transphobic joke. And it was offensive, and it was loud. He yelled it across the court. And my first instinct was shame, like, oh gosh, I really. And then it was fear, and then it was like, no, screw it. I gotta say something. And so I turned to him and I said, hey, I'm non-binary. I'd lay off the transphobic jokes. And he said, what's non-binary? What does it even mean? And I said, the fact that you don't know what it means is even more reason that you lay off joking about trans people. And he said, well, are you a boy? Are you a girl? I said, I'm neither. I use they, them pronouns. I'm non-binary. And he said, well, it's just genetics. And I said, I have spent so many more years and so many more hours and so much more life energy researching and learning about this topic than you ever will in your entire life. I promise you, I know more about it than you do. And he goes, oh, well, I mean, it was really more of a guy joke, I guess, than a, oh, okay. And I was ready for more because I thought he was going to keep going, right? Keep going at me. And he didn't. We ended up playing for another 45 minutes, and he was very quiet. He was much more reserved. And I realized, I think that small interaction is going to make him think twice in the future about making trans jokes. Even when he looks around and thinks he's in a conservative area with all cisgender people, he's going to think twice. And I'm glad I said something. I'm glad I had the courage to say something, because too many times in my life I have let jokes and offensive things like that slide, and I want to start doing better.
This is a sickness of the highest order. You know what to do, guys. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more Muppets like this. And remember, we don't fucking care.